Welcome to Defender's Voice. I'm Dr. Paul. Thank you for joining us today. Today's Q&A, we are going to look at Golden Temple in Amritsar. Some killings have happened in the last few days in this temple. So we are going to see these incidents in the light of law and order and also the religious teachings. Please visit my website www.drpaul.org to read my essays and also to support this ministry. So coming to these questions in the last few days, if you see at Amritsar Golden Temple, it is the most sacred place for Sikhs. There are hundreds of millions of Sikhs in India, in the Indian subcontinent, and also in the North America, also in Australia, New Zealand, in many countries around the world. And Golden Temple is the most holiest site for them. And recently, just a few days ago, one guy went and touched some objects, some sacred objects inside the temple. And he went into the sanctum sanctorum, that is the holiest of holy places inside the temple. So they apprehended him and they were taking him outside. And in the courtyard of the temple, a mob learned about this incident and they immediately attacked him and beaten him to death. Now, how did the society respond? The police immediately charged this man who got killed with an FIR, that is the first information report, with violating the religious space. Politicians condemned this man for violating that sacred space. Now, these incidents bring back those bad memories. Back when I was a boy, back in 1984, Indira Gandhi sent Indian soldiers into the Golden Temple, and there was some violent clashes between Indian soldiers and Khalistan terrorists. And then what happened was Indira Gandhi paid a big price for that. She was assassinated by her Sikh bodyguards on October 31, 1984. I still remember those sad events from my childhood. So a lot of blood has been shed in India and around the world around these religious temples and religious traditions. I want to give you like 3 reasons why I think what happened to this man should not happen to anybody in the world. Okay, first of all, the law and order. Okay, there is a due process. Whenever incidents like this happen, we must always respect the due process. Vigilantism is taking hold of people now. Hey, he did this. I'm going to kill this person. I don't want to wait for the police and the courts. I want to kill this person. We see this in Islam. Hey, he drew a cartoon of my prophet and I am going to kill this person. So that is not healthy to the well-functioning of any society in this world. Okay, so you need to uphold law and order. There is a due process. If this man had violated your sacred space, apprehend him and hand over him to the police, and the police will charge him and make him stand before a judge and get the sentence that is appropriate to his crime. So that is not happening right now. This due process is very important. When Jesus Christ our Lord was charged with a similar violation, okay, the Jewish authorities said Jesus violated our temple and he must be condemned to death. But the Jewish leaders did not kill Jesus, okay? They wanted to do it through a legal procedure. In those days, only Romans had authority to give death penalty. So Jesus was made to stand before a Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, and they charged him with the sacrilege. He insulted our temple. And Pilate thought those were silly reasons and they do not merit a death penalty. However, Pilate did not do justice to Jesus. He gave death penalty to Jesus because he wanted to satisfy the Jewish mob. Okay. So something similar is happening in India now. The politicians should be stating the rule of law must be upheld. You should not kill people who enter into your temple. But the politicians are not doing that because they are all about getting elected. The next election is around the corner in Punjab. So they want to relate to this mob. It's basically democracy is becoming a mobocracy. Whatever the mob wants, the politicians are willing to do that. So that's very bad. Elsewhere in the New Testament, if you see Apostle Paul in the book of Acts, while he was attending certain rituals in the temple or taking some people along with him, one day he was charged with taking non-Jewish people into the temple. They said he brought non-Jews into the Jewish temple. And bringing non-Jews into the Jewish temple merits death penalty. Okay, the temple is only for the Jews. So Apostle Paul, actually he took a Jewish person into the temple, but they thought he brought a non-Jewish person and they wanted to kill him. And the Roman soldiers went and stopped it. You see, the due process needs to be upheld. And the Roman soldiers that day, they saved the life of Apostle Paul from the mob. So 2000 years ago, the Roman authorities respected the rule of law and the due process, and it's very unfortunate in 21st century India, we are not doing that. Okay, so secondly, I also want to mention the spiritual aspect of this. Jesus said that human soul is more precious than religious traditions and physical religious buildings. He said, what shall it profit for a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? So a human soul is more precious. He said, God is a spirit and those who worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. God is about spirit. That's why Jesus never put a physical temple before us. All right? The physical temples are not important for him. God is a spirit and we are spiritual beings, so precious in the sight of God. And we go into the presence of God, wherever it might be. It may be a physical building, even somewhere in the wilderness, even somebody's home. When you worship God in spirit, that becomes your sacred place. Human beings are so precious in the sight of God. So you do not kill a person because he enters into your holy place. One day, Jesus healed a debilitated man, and the leaders, the religious leaders who were there said, you are violating the Sabbath. Today is a Jewish holiday Sabbath. And Jesus said, Sabbath is for man. Man is not for the Sabbath. So man is more precious than Sabbath. Man is more precious than the religious traditions and physical buildings. So the spiritual element should not be missed here. Human beings are very precious in the sight of God. We should not kill them because they violated our sacred space. And lastly, I would like to say a few words about love. Where is love? This mob took this man and killed him immediately. Where is forgiveness? Where is love? You see, Jesus Christ, our Lord, when he was going to his cross, the Roman soldiers beaten him to the pulp. That is the most terrible sacrilege in the world, because Jesus is God himself. Right? It's not like you are violating a temple of God. You are violating God himself. Yet Jesus said, Father, please forgive them. Father, please forgive them. He forgave the very people who were beating him. So, forgiveness and love should be upheld when incidents like this happen. All right. You take Vatican, for example. It is the most holiest site for Catholics. And Pope John Paul, he is the holy being for Catholics. But when he was in danger, a Muslim guy went into Vatican to kill Pope John Paul II. Okay? And he almost killed him. But the Pope said, I forgive him. Pope said, let us not hurt this man. All right? Because he was made in the image of God. So this Muslim man went into the Vatican, violated its sanctity. He actually tried to kill the Pope. He harmed the Pope. Yet Pope forgave him. Pope showed him the love of God. So it should be like that. There should be love of God when incidents like this happen. So I wanted to give you those three answers. The due process must be upheld. Human beings are so precious in the sight of God, they should not be killed. And there should be love and forgiveness in these incidents. Okay, folks, I hope I answered this question for you. And please visit my website www.drpaul.org. Like this video. Post your comments if you do not agree with me or if you agree with me. And also subscribe to our channel. May God richly bless you.